there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. I guess there's the earthquakes and in Myanmar, and it's actually not very far from where I used to live. I used to live on a mountain directly above Mandalay, which is the center point of the earthquake. And my friend said that there was a lot of shaking, and his Buddha fell off his table, and it was something he's never experienced before. Obviously, most people haven't experienced that before, and but there was no structural damage that he could see. He went out of his kuti, that's like a meditation hut, and then there were other monks as well, and so a lot of people are sad about that, especially the amount of damage that's done in Sagaing and also in Mandalay. And so it's people are really sad. So recently I posted a picture of how the monks make our buildings, and or at least how they used to do it. I think they use more modern equipment now, but the monasteries were built a lot of times by the monks themselves. We have paid workers, but when it comes time to pouring the concrete, we have these small cement mixers, and then we have people operating those. Sometimes they're paid workers, sometimes they're the volunteers, and then what we do is we have teams of people. We have teams of people who are, are they for us or no? So we have teams of people who who shovel rocks and carry the sand and into the cement mixer, and then when it's ready they dump it. And then there's like a whole thing what we call the fire line. I guess in the olden days when there was a fire, they used to pass buckets of water, and that's how they put out fires. And we do the same thing. I'll paste some pictures there about how there's just a line of people passing buckets of concrete, and it's really beautiful to see. We get the villagers involved, and we get the meditators involved. And I remember actually when they were building this building, it's called the Metta Vihari. It's a female meditation hall, and I was busy meditating and thinking, like meditation can be more merit. But a lot of people, almost the whole monastery, participated. It's not mandatory to do any work at Pa'ak. They want you to meditate. As long as you're doing wholesome things, everything's fine. You can collect your food, you can stay in the kuti, and you can renew your visa. And so that's how they do things. They pass the buckets from person to person, and now they have gloves because the cement actually, the buckets get cement on them after they pour it, and then they get recycled, and they have cement on they have concrete mixture on the handles and everywhere, and it like burns your hand, and so people have like wounds after for a few days or a week or something. And there's some people, they're just covered with concrete. I don't know if I'll be able to find a picture of that, but there's some people like who go right near where they're pouring, and you see them, they're just covered with concrete. And they're very wonderful people making lots of merit, making a meditation hall or a hall for the Buddha. I think we also did one for the bamboo Buddha at Malamyan. And by the way, this is very far from Mandalay. It is very, very far, and everything's fine. They probably just had a little bit of a rumble or something. And they ended up making this female meditation hall, which is beautiful. Is designed by, I think his name is Venerable Panya Upinya Goethika, and he has a master's in architecture from England. And people usually, the foreigners are able to go abroad to school. Usually they're extra intelligent. And so he has a master's in architecture, and he designed it, and it's a beautiful hall. I'll show pictures of that as well. And I think it would be structurally sound. He knows all about building things structurally sound. If I remember correctly, they were building this water tower on top of the hill above the meditation hall, and he looked at it and he ordered them to take it down because it wasn't structurally safe. So hopefully that building will last a long time. Surprisingly, I think they built that building, I think, for $600,000. Actually, the main building only cost like $500,000. They ran out of money, and then it was like $600,000 to do the exterior part. What a deal, huh? So you can't do that anymore, especially in Myanmar or anywhere. And so I thought I'd share that with you because there's a lot of sadness about the destruction, and yeah, it is very sad. But people can have you can look at the bright side. Obviously, it's sad, it's terrible, and it's going to be a huge hardship for years to come. But there's also opportunity to rebuild monasteries and to volunteer and to make acts of merit, and hopefully they'll be able to recycle some of this. I forget what they call it. It's like urban crete or urban mite or something like that, where they can take the walls and they could break them up into like bricks, size of bricks, and then recycle them. And maybe that's possible. I'm not really sure, but let me get through here. I don't want to get leeches on me. I haven't checked. I have to check. Make sure there's no leeches on me. I've not been looking in my camera. My cinema photographer is busy looking at me. So it's you can go ahead of me. Yeah. So yeah, it's there's ways to make merit, and it'll be yeah. Now I'll come. It'll be good for people.